Rob Van Dam! Rob Van Dam!
I'm Rob Van Dam. The whole show.
Hey, what's up? It's a Friday night. It's a good night because it's one of a kind. And we are here with none other than Mr. RVD, Rob Van Dam. Rob, how are you, man?
I am doing fantastic, Dom.
Great to hear.
Doing damn fine.
Damn fine. And
Katie and I were talking earlier, and she's saying I should use damn, a lot more and make that my thing, which I agree, but she didn't know that Kurt already stole that. Like, I wish I would have came up with, oh yeah, it's true. It's damn true.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Could have been me.
Yeah. We'll have
But
to
I
take
didn't. Yeah. I didn't
another
think
version of it for you.
I think one time I was working with him, I said, it's true. It's Van Dam true. I don't know. I don't know if someone else wrote that because that's where I found out what he was doing.
Yeah.
Or if I already knew and then I wrote that, which is also a possibility. But either way, and Christian too. She notices Christian will say damn a lot.
Oh, that's true. He does do that. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
There's a way you can do it.
I'm going to stay with fantastic. And every time I say that, 50% of me wonders, like, did they catch what I said? Because they say, how you doing? I say, I am fantastic. And I'll be like, oh, good. Like, I'm glad to hear that.
Glad to hear. Good to hear. Good.
Yeah, like, damn it, they missed it.
Well, it is called one of a kind, but we got another person here waiting in the
Yeah,
wait.
I thought it'd be good to sometimes we have a guest, and then you're awesome at coming up with questions relative to their career that we care about and shit. And I was thinking of who I could, who would be a good guest, on short notice. And I was working out and I was running on my treadmill backwards. And every time I do that, it makes me think of Mike Chioda because that's where I learned that from.
Really?
And Mike was available, thank goodness. So we have Mr. Chioda's company.
What's happening, RVD?
Hey.
Yeah.
What's happening, guys? Thanks for having me on the show, bro. What a badass entrance, man. Badass entrance.
Right, aren't you pumped?
Man, loving it, man. RVD, man. Thanks for having me on the show, man. You know what, Rob? There was one more guy that said, damn, Ron Simmons. Damn.
Oh, yeah. Of course. which we do have him included. You've seen the videos probably that I've done.
I sure did.
Yeah. We got 3 we've done so far. So every
cool.
several years we got to redo that.
Man, that's cool. Good seeing you, Rob. Good seeing you.
Yeah,
Dom.
you too.
Good seeing you too, Mike. It's always a pleasure, man. Hell yeah.
Me and Mike used to be pretty close and at work, hang out a lot. And I haven't talked to him in a long time. So I thought, fuck, this will be fun just catching up on the air and sharing the love. People,
brother. Yeah, definitely. We got some stories.
Yeah, I'm still doing the 3 T's to success.
That's right, 3 T's, man. Train, tan, and toke.
I love it. I never heard that.
I never forgot them.
That's a T-shirt.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, we talked about making that a T-shirt
right here.
3 T's, baby. That's the name of this episode. It's gonna be.
That's it, man. I saw
my least favorite part about the 3 T's was when we would come back to the arena and you'd see Kimball or your friends or whatever, and you'd like crank the radio all the way up. I'd be like smacking his hand, don't do it, and he'd be like, like kids, like trying to smack his hand. He's like cranking it all the way up so he can look cool in Bobby's head. And I'm like, dude, stop. That's not cool.
Cut it out.
Hey, babe, shut up. Be quiet. Oh, man. Yeah.
Kimball. What's his name? Not Kimball. I know.
Chimmel.
Oh, okay,
yeah, Tony Chimmel. He lives like 2 hours from me. I live in Tampa. And he moved to like somewhere's out in like Fort Myers area. Fort Myers.
Right on.
So yeah, about 2 hours away. So he moved
I was just down there recently for Nick Hogan's wedding.
Oh, nice. How was that? Nice.
Right. It was awesome.
Sweet.
It was really cool. Yeah.
Awesome, man. It's good to hear.
Favorite wedding that I've attended that wasn't mine. Just everything. I mean, the place was cool and all the little traditional things they did. And and just everybody's spirits. Everyone was.
Yeah.
Usually, I'm not good at social things. I have a lot of social disorders that keep me from enjoying leaving the house a lot of times. But,
I hear you, man.
that was awesome, and I don't know.
Hogan's
Florida.
Clearwater. Me and my wife, and we go down.
You're in Clearwater? They're by there?
I'm in Tampa, so we're about 50 minutes from Clearwater.
Yeah.
I used to live in Carrollwood, and I lived in Town and Country forever.
Yeah, Carrollwood's like 25 minutes from us. Nice area. We go to a couple of restaurants out there, Rob. It's a real cool area. Real good. That's what I like about Florida, man. It's just the weather's gorgeous. We got some cool weather now in the 70s, and it just stays like that till April, May, and then we get the nice hot weather coming in, 85 and up. But it's beach weather, man.
100% humidity.
Yeah, the beaches are nice here, man. Like in Texas, I had a tanning bed, even though it's like you go to Galveston, Rob, and Galveston was like not a nice beach. It's not like California beaches. It's not like Florida beaches. So when I moved to Tampa, man, I finally sold that tanning bed, and I haven't been in a tanning bed since, man. But I need to get down to the beach and get some sun, that's for sure.
Yeah, I still have one. Last time I used it was yesterday.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
If it's sunny, but it has been sunny and nice out. We just had a few days this week where it was no sun, just cloudy. But
yeah, tanning beds are not they're not all over the place. The gyms that have tanning beds are the basic tanning beds, not the turbo ones, not the real nice ones with the real beautiful face tanners, and so it's not even worth it, man. Tanning beds, they don't even have the stores out here anymore where you can just go tan.
I always prefer to be outside. I figure it's getting more angles. And,
fuck yeah. Sun gives me energy, man. Sun gives me total energy. So how's Vegas, man? What's going on with Vegas?
Yeah, I love it.
I'll be out there for WrestleCon, man. So we'll get together.
Yeah.
Got to get together, man. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. And then like, do you know if you're doing anything else, any events?
No, nothing. Just doing WrestleCon, like 4 days.
4 days?
Yeah, it's all 4 days now or something. They added.
It's all 4 days. It's crazy.
Yeah, all 4 days, and I'll be with Fandu Belts and Chris Van Vliet over there. So.
Oh no shit!
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool, man.
Nice. He's coming to Las Vegas to interview me in a couple of days on the 11th.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, nice.
11th, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, man. I did a nice interview about a year ago with him, Rob. And
I remember seeing it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
Wasn't that at the studio out here in Las Vegas?
No, but it was in the Tampa Edition Hotel, one of these top fucking beautiful hotels over in downtown Tampa. Nice one there. And we did it right in the hotel room with these big white chairs. And, and like when we did one online, a Zoom chat. And he got a great response, right? It was like a few 100,000 or something. But this is when he was first starting out, and I first, after that, we did one live there. He got 12 to 15 million views on everything.
Wow.
Yeah, because the referee never really told their story before on the internet, and he just plugged at it. And he's been one of the biggest guys out there interviewing everybody.
He gets everybody too.
Phenomenal guy too, man.
Yeah, very nice dude. Very nice.
Yeah, it was funny. His story was like, he's like, what's your favorite match? One of your favorite, I said, well, the crowd reaction. I'm not, and this, and that was Rock and Hogan, in 2002 with, Sky Dome Arena. He goes, I was 18 years old. I was sitting so many rows up on, from the floor. I was like, what? He was a fan. He was at that he was at that WrestleMania. Cool. So it was pretty cool, man. We hit it off pretty good on the good interview. But you'll have fun with it, man.
That's still for me the biggest crowd I've been in front of.
Just unbelievable. 68,000 made it sound like 100,000 in there. That was a big.
And all the sound went up. I couldn't hear it in the radio.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah, it was fucking.
I didn't know
crazy.
me and Rigo had a good match until I got to Gorilla. I thought the people weren't into it because they sounded quiet.
No, did you guys kick off the show, Rob? On that
was
one,
a big stadium.
Did you kick off the show in that one, Rob?
I don't know. I can't remember that.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, right.
Probably though.
Yeah, you ever go out to Manchester?
I say with bitterness. I wouldn't doubt it.
Do you ever go out to Manchester? Do that Love of Wrestling for the Love of Wrestling? You ever been one?
Yeah. Matter of fact, they're already talking about booking me next year in fucking like November.
Yeah, that's when. Yeah, they booked
That's
me.
the next one, right, in Manchester. But
Well, this one it was just in February 13th and 14th or something. So
right,
14th and 15th.
yeah, you just came back
But,
from it, and it was awesome.
yeah, it was awesome, man. I mean, they had that shit. They work you hard though, Rob. They got you going from 9 in the morning all the way Q&A here, photo ops. But it's a moneymaker, man. It's a moneymaker.
The last one, what I remember about, and I've done a couple of their shows, but the last one I did that was over there,
Yeah.
I ended up in a group of boys at the hotel bar that's just not the normal guys that I would be with. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was just, you know, for whatever reason, it was just random. I'm looking around and I'm like, wow, like normally I don't hang out with these guys. And Scott Hall said that too. He was like, Robbie, you know, me and you like never sit down and like have a beer together. You know what I mean, Robbie?
Yeah.
And I was like, I do know. And I was hanging out with Chris Jericho and anyway, yes. And that's the last time I talked to Scott. He had a really dark cloud over him that night. And he was like, do you know about me, Robbie? Like do you know what I did? Yeah. Yeah, I think so, Scott.
Okay.
Wait, okay? Explain that to me.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a thing. Look at this up here. I'm trying to get this in. That's a shot. You see that poster right there?
Hey,
The big one?
RVD.
Signed by RVD.
Yeah. Look at that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got to recover the chairs. They had chairs with that, and I think I sold a couple of them that I had on eBay, and then someone has some. My eBay guy, he has like one or two, and I'm like, dude, don't sell those anymore. Like, I need those in my collection now. Never been on a chair before or after, I don't think.
Wait, that's the only chair. Dang.
I don't know. I really don't know if that's true, but it's likely.
That's a great chair.
Wherever you put this poster, it will be the coolest room in the house.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
420. Yep. That was years ago, man. 206 that poster was.
Wow.
206. That was June 11th, 06.
Yeah, because on 05, I couldn't wrestle. That was the first ECW one night stand that I helped. I helped create, and then I had a knee injury post surgery. So
got you.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool, man. So what do you got coming up? You got anything coming up besides WrestleCon, Rob? Are you going out somewhere?
A few other appearances like that. The next one is last night there was a JCW show, the Insane Clown Posse.
Okay.
They did some wrestling here, JCW, Juggalo Championship. But the 15th of March, the big event, you're not going to be there, huh?
No, not at 15.
The big event, they do a good show too. And they
I've heard them,
Yeah.
I just been getting on these things the last couple of years on these, first couple of years.
They're fun, I think.
They are, man. They are. Like
not everyone's good at them though. Like some of the guys are not pleasant to be around.
Really? Yeah, man. I have fun at them, man.
They're me too. It's good energy, and it's people that are happy to see you.
Yeah, happy to see you. They say nothing but nice things and kind words about your career and how they watch.
I want to drop names, but some of the guys, are just like,
Yeah, I hear you. Right.
Here you go.
Beat it, kid.
I see that all the time, but it also sometimes it's hard to keep your smile up if you're stuck in a spot where you're during quiet time.
Yeah,
you're trying to not look like you're sitting there by yourself at your table and you're on your phone.
Yeah,
you're saying, this fucking sucks. I need someone to come talk to me. But
hey, bro, I know.
Doesn't happen too often with RVD.
Yeah.
I know the feeling though.
But I'll tell you, man. I know it's sometimes. When you don't get busy, you said, I see two guys, they weren't that busy, and I'm thinking, damn, I don't want to be like that, man. Not being busy at all at a table, not signing.
Right, but you never know. Like WrestleCon usually a really good show.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I guess it was the way they had everyone spread out or whatever. There was one huge private room. It had me, Matt, and Jeff Hardy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and who was over there?
That wasn't in Philly last year. Was it in Philly?
No. This
Okay.
is
I seen you in Philly.
I was at that the one we were at, Rob.
WrestleCade, not WrestleCon.
Oh, WrestleCade. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I think it was WrestleCade. Anyway, no, maybe it was in Knoxville. It might have been that one. And I don't know for sure, but anyway, they had us in one room, but there was a few of us were pretty big draws, and nobody, like, we were just like doing nothing for like 2 hours. It seemed like we might have seen 20 people. It was crazy.
Starcast, I think it was Starcast 6, Rob.
Oh, I get those mixed up. Okay.
Yeah, Starcast 6.
Because we were in that room, Kawada, because Kawada came.
Yeah, that's the one where Kawada was.
That's the one Kawada came, and like there was like fucking nobody was like in that. Like Hardy's got a little bit, but not, and you got a little bit too, but not enough. It was just bad.
It was crazy how much dead time there was for who's in that room, and I think people were there just at different parts of the building, like downstairs and shit.
Yeah, it was just a weird setup kind of thing. Same with WrestleCon in LA. I don't know if you guys were both at the LA one, but it was like at the Biltmore Hotel where the Ghostbusters was filmed.
Okay,
and like it was all these different levels, and like Nash was down below. It was such a weird setup, and I'm like, how could people fucking find anybody in here?
No, the way they had it in Philly last year was pretty good.
Yeah,
I had a great time all weekend. I was busy as all get out. It was great, man. Yeah. But you ever go out for Australia, Rob? I'm going out in June for Oceania Pro Wrestling. So
it's been a couple years, but of course I go everywhere. I go. We have our friend is it's BCW. What does that stand for? Battle Championship Wrestling. That's
gotcha.
Several times have been. I became friends with the guy that's
Cool. Okay.
Although right now I'm blanking out his name. Do you know his name, baby?
Matt. Is this in Australia?
Yeah.
Matt.
It is Matt.
I'm dealing with a Cameron Vale.
My head, but anyway, that's cool. So for you, it's signing at conventions or what?
Yeah, a couple matches and a signing and a seminar.
You're actually going to referee some matches. Sweet.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like he wants me to do one weekend and the next weekend do another one, in between do a signing and a seminar or something like that, and be out there for like 10 days, 8 days in Melbourne. So
wow.
I said, all right, that's cool with me. Fuck yeah. Of course, the wife's like, the wife every time. Oh, I got Pennsylvania, I got Jersey coming up, I got this. Okay, you have fun. Oh, I got England. Oh, all right. I'll book a flight.
Yeah.
You got Manchester. You got London. Oh, you got Australia. Okay. Oh, let me just checking on the fucking prices right away.
Yeah.
It's funny, man.
Not making all the shitty towns, though.
Yeah, not making any shitty towns, bro.
Pick the good ones, man. Pick the good ones.
Oh, the good ones. Only the good ones.
That's it. If you can be selected, why not?
I was saying during the intro that I got running backwards on the treadmill from Mike. We used to go to the gym together, WWE, and that's true. And I do it like almost every single time that I run. I like to turn around, go backwards, and I like to pivot. I like to go side, and then on my other side, and do the side. And I like to move around and work my balance muscles and shit like that. But I totally got that from Mike. And one time we were at the gym and he was there ahead of me for whatever reason. Maybe I was in the bathroom getting dressed, whatever. Right. But I came out and I saw like this old lady. And she was on the treadmill and it was going like kind of slow, but she was backwards. And she was like walking on it, trying to keep up with it going backwards. And I got mad at Mike because I just knew that he ribbed her. I was just like, oh my God,
you ribbed her?
So not cool. Dude, I can't believe you did that. But no, I was wrong though. He said he didn't. Because I've never seen anybody do that. What are the odds?
She was trying it, man. I was like, oh yeah.
I just knew that she asked for advice on, can you help me use this? And he was like, yeah, face that way.
Hey Rob, you know where I got that from? I blew my ankle out, and I was good friends with Rick Burkholder, which was the trainer for the Eagles, and me being in South Jersey. So he said, and we didn't have trainers back then, and all the facility stuff. It was like year 2000, I think. So I went to the Philadelphia Veterans State, and they gave me off of work for 2 weeks to take care of it. So Rick Burkholder. So I'm sitting there and they're doing all this stuff to my ankle, putting a cast on it, air cast to take the swelling out. And then all these dudes and like these defensive backs were running backwards on a treadmill.
Huh.
And I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, how are they running backwards on a treadmill, right? And they're like, oh, he's like, yeah, you can do it. He's like, once we get you running, we tape your ankle, we'll get you on a treadmill, we'll show you. And that's who showed me the defensive backs for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Nice.
And because they sit in position on the receivers. So they got to really backpedal like really fast for the first 5-10 steps,
Yeah.
So hello.
Hey,
How
What's
are
up,
you?
Katie?
good. How are you?
Good.
This is Katie. Have you ever met Katie, Mike?
Yes, I did. I met her a while back. It was a little bit. Yeah, I
to
think I
see
met her
you.
somewhere. Good to see you too. All right, thinking maybe in Philly last year. Were you in Philly?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I mentioned seeing you in Philly too.
Cool.
But yeah, so yeah, I learned that from the Philadelphia Eagles, man, way
Yeah,
back. And
I
I thought I thought I never could do it. In 3 days, they had me running backwards on the treadmill, and they said
Yeah.
it's good to run backwards, and I always needed to do that in the ring. Run backwards, go forwards, backwards, get out of the way,
It
So
definitely
it always
makes
helped me
it
in the ring.
harder. It's harder to push yourself like that. Like
Yeah.
you're scooting. It's more of a scoot instead of a stride.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I don't do that shit now.
Not anymore.
Forward. I go one way and drive, man. That's it. No reverse. That's it.
Mike, so you since I didn't know you were still doing the officiating gigs and stuff, like people were still getting you for that.
Yeah, once in a while, like certain places,
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
so I almost went out to Qatar for QPW to do one match, and he was going to take care of me and everything. But the travel was unbelievable trying to get back home. It was like flying from Qatar to Bahrain and Bahrain back to London with 5-hour layovers, and then London to Newark and Newark to Tampa. I said, man, my wife was dying. She's like, I want to go to Qatar. I was like, yeah, I want to make the money too, but I'm not flying 28 hours. And it was like a coach because premium economy was sold out. So I had to give up the payday there. So I was like, but we had a great time in England. So it was good.
Yeah.
But I'm still doing gigs here and there. It depends though. They're pretty decent shows and pretty, like some cool shows, I'll do them.
Do you still get the itch a lot to
Yeah, man. I've refereed some really good matches on the indies that I thought
Yeah.
I wouldn't, and really working with some really young, good talent and some talent that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So,
Oops.
so it's
Anybody
pretty cool.
stand out to you that you really liked working with on the indies?
On the indies, there Cardona,
Yeah,
Matt
yeah.
over there and stuff. I've been working with him a lot and here and there. So that's pretty cool. I see him a lot. He's everywhere, bro.
It says Chelsea Green just down there right when you said that.
Yeah, and someone
Really?
said she dresses Cactus Jack.
Oh, it must be tonight on SmackDown. How about that?
Oh,
Oh.
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
Hey, what do you think about the referee shirts, man? I'm
Okay.
not
I
digging it at
forgot
all.
what
You see they're like a dark color, a two-tone, but it's just like it almost matches the mat. The mat's so dark,
Yeah.
I think it's got too many logos on the mat, but
You think it doesn't contrast enough with the?
yeah, I don't know. That the referee doesn't pop out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't remember what it looks like.
It
Yeah,
looks
they
like
just
the
changed the
best
ref
buyout.
shirts. They just
Yeah.
changed
Last
them.
night on the JCW show, the refs had sequiny stripe shirts.
What does
Really?
that mean?
Yeah,
Like it was like blinged out blinged out white stripe, black stripe.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
neat.
I was like,
You
that's
do-
a glamorous way
yeah.
Yeah,
ref shirt.
that's one
I
way.
know what y'all were listening to on the radio or in the car when he was turning up the music, bumping when y'all pulled back up to the arena.
What are you talking?
When I was in the other room,
yeah.
he said he'd turn up the music when he
Yeah,
did
yeah. You see,
No, just the
Yeah.
radio. Whatever was on, he would crank it. I knew it was coming too.
Oh,
every time.
he mentioned it already.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
That's funny.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, I'm coming out to Vegas, Rob. I think that Wednesday, and we'll be there
Nice.
from Wednesday to Monday or something. Me and my wife.
Do you know where you're staying?
Yeah, the link. We're staying at the link there.
Oh, the link's
Okay.
awesome.
Yeah,
I like-
so it's a nice hotel there. So
Yeah.
staying over there.
Link's
And that's it.
Is according to what we read the other day, we went to the Neon Sign Museum a couple nights ago.
Mhm.
I've always wanted to go there like 20 years, and I'm a big fan of the history of Vegas and shit.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I don't want to say I was underwhelmed, but it wasn't as exciting. It was more
Yeah.
like being in a like a cemetery than being in a like a museum. I felt, but it was cool, and it is a graveyard, boneyard. But
Right.
anyway, according to the plaque that I read, they said that sign, the light above the Luxor, is the brightest light in the world.
Really? Brightest.
That's what it claims.
Hey, have you been
from LA if you're like up high, like in a
right
helicopter?
on the elevated point? Like, have you been to that Sphere? That new arena?
No, I want to.
We want to check that out, man. I think
Yeah.
they're having some kind of Grateful Dead thing going on. I love the Dead,
shit.
so Mike.
I would love to go and watch like
Just
UFC
wanna
there.
see.
That would be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I think they should have a tour in the daytime or whatever where it has like the history of Las Vegas, because if you could use your surroundings to make it look like you're actually there, 100 years ago in the middle of a desert or something, I think that could be cool. But
Yeah.
I really don't know. I don't know what it looks like, but
Start producing.
Yeah.
let's
My
do it.
buddy saw the Eagles play there, and they said it was amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, it started with you too. That was the big deal for a long
Yeah.
time. But,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like it from Cali, man? How do you like it from? There's a difference. The weather a little bit too hot, or
Yeah, so the weather is a little bit different because it does have extreme weather here.
yeah,
It's a little too hot and a little too cold, and LA is more consistent.
yeah,
But
yeah,
that and I used to like riding my bike at Venice Beach.
yeah.
Venice Beach, Redondo Beach, Hermosa, all the way up the coast there, Malibu. But that's all that I miss about LA. Nothing else. Like every reason that I wanted to move here paid off. And
Yeah,
one of the
really.
best parts is that everything is so fucking close. Like
Yeah.
there's almost nothing in town that's like more than 6 miles to go
Yeah,
to.
within a 5-mile radius. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I
Yeah,
like that. I
everything.
like
So
that.
when I got meetings or got to get, got to go to find something specific or whatever, there's never any worries. I know when I put in, tire store near me, I know I'm going to have 4
Yeah,
within a mile and a half, and I like that I love that about Vegas.
yeah.
Even going all the way across town, go downtown all the way down there, it's like 15 minutes. Airport is like 20 minutes, and we're way on the west side, not even over there. So that's my favorite part. And the weather next to California, it's the best weather that I've lived in.
Yeah, I hear you. I know, because it gets hot in the summertime. Even though it's a dry hot, it's fucking hot.
It gets hot. Jeez.
Mike, do you have any funny stories about Rob, maybe in the ring?
Yeah, what do you got? Do you got any gems we might not know about, Mike?
Man, I always enjoyed working with Rob, man. Totally in the ring. I know I used to love it because some of his kicks and some of his stuff used to look so good, man. Because he laid in a little bit, and I like to see him work. And there ain't nothing better but his finish, man. I'll tell you that. And he was him and Eddie Guerrero is the only kind of guys that sell that coming off the frog splash.
Yeah.
So that was like that was my moment working with Rob all the time, hitting that thing, and just to see him sell that just a second or two before he make that 1, 2, 3 cover, it was awesome.
One thing I remember doing a lot was when I would be in a move, like someone's got me. It could be in a chin lock or it could be in a better submission move or whatever.
Right.
You come over and you'd be
Checking.
Be like, what do you say, Rob? Do you give up? Like, say,
Yeah, give it up.
Yes, ring the bell.
Just laugh. I know. What do you say, Rob? You want to give it up? He's like, yeah, just ring the bell.
Ring the bell immediately.
Fuck around a lot in there, man. I tell you, the live events were a lot of fun. TV was always stressed. TV always had to hit the times, the cues, the spots, and shit like that.
Man.
But so, I mean, their TV's different now. I mean, I don't think there's any stress going off the air now, right? They own
It is different. It's so different. It's
Right.
like if people, the kids that are working now, they don't seem all worn out from the road. They
Right.
seem genuinely like they're happy to be at their job and just it's a total different vibe.
Yeah, some of the referees I know, they're working like 2 times a month. I'm like, what? I'm like,
Seriously?
just TVs. And they hardly do house shows and live events. I'm like, holy shit, where was that schedule when I was there? I was like, God.
I have no idea what full-time means anymore.
Yeah, no.
I haven't seen Cena. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, now I'm hearing about it too. I'm hearing about it, Lucky them, because I mean that would have saved quite a few years on our bodies, 14, 15 days in a row in Europe and TVs and every week working, they moved us.
Yeah, one memory that I just thought of, this was when I did a return though, so it was probably 2014, because I came back in 2013, had an awesome 3 months, and then I came back a year later and had a really shitty return where I was just jobbing every night and I was pissed. And I remember one time in the dressing room before I was going out there, you were trying to get me to wear some head paint, to spray cover the bald spot. And we were, and it's funny because this is where, like, in a dressing room, the boundaries are so different than a regular workplace.
Yeah.
And he's going, no, come here. Let me just put it. I was like, no, get off. I don't want it.
Get off.
Just a little bit. You need it right there. Just on the top. Would you let me do it?
Oh my God. Brother, I used to be I used to be so jealous. Like, I'd stretch a little bit. You go over there and look at Rob. Rob's over in somewhere in the pad or something, just stretching for like an hour straight, man. Sweating. And I'm like, damn, jealous as a motherfucker. I'm like, nobody could stretch like Rob, bro. It's unbelievable.
Feel at my best, I gotta do that,
Yeah. No, I hear you. I go to Stretch Lab and they stretch me, man. It feels great. I'm like a member of this like Stretch Lab place, man. And I got this guy that stretches great, man. It's just
that's the total agenda there, is to get stretched.
Yeah, total agenda, stretch for 50 minutes. So yeah, it's good, man. And I always told him about you, man. I was like, man, my boy Rob, RVD, man, this dude, he could fucking stretch on his own, man, just 45 minutes straight. But
Rob, I'm sure we talked about this. Did you learn that like way early on, like before wrestling, like doing all the martial arts stuff and anything to that effect? Is that where you really got that foundation for doing it?
Yeah. When did you?
Yeah. Well, so it started like in high school, like in gym class, we would have to start out, no matter what we were working on, because it was seasonal, if you're doing football or soccer or fucking
right.
But no matter what it was, we would start out with a routine of stretching and doing calisthenics. Jumping jacks, like that. And that's where I first learned to stretch. And then I took an advanced health and fitness class, like a elective, in one of my last years in school. And in there, I was taught that I was taught the importance of stretching, especially because I wanted to be a pro wrestler and I was like 165 pounds, maybe.
Yeah.
And my teacher, the physical ed teacher, she was saying, I'll always remember, she drew this out, like a drawing of like it would be like two muscles coming together, meeting like at a joint. And she was saying, when your muscle hypertrophies and it grows, then it's going to swell up, and then it's going to make it harder for you to move because you're going to lose the space in between all your muscles and stuff. So you have to keep stretching as you're making your muscles bigger. And it stuck with me. So then when I went to martial arts, then it was like, okay, cool. I learned some new stretches to add to it. And then throughout my career, normally I would add like one or two stretches I just pick up. It could just be while I'm stretching, I might just try something different, which there's so much going on. That's why I've never been able to do an instructional platform for it, because there's so much between resting certain muscles, and I might have to put my weight on other muscles in order to rest those. And then there's balance and there's breathing, and sometimes it's a little thing like turning my waist, clockwise, and I'm like maybe leaning back and looking up, and there's so much going on that it's counterproductive to even talk because it brings me out of that inner spot that I'm at, and I've never so far found a way where I think I could explain it to people, but. So much going on. I eventually thought maybe that's just for me.
And it burns so many calories, man. It's
Oh my
got to
gosh,
burn.
I
It
imagine.
burns
Sweating afterwards.
probably anywhere from 500 to 7,000 calories. The way you
I don't know about that.
500 calories at least.
I don't know. I was on the treadmill for like 10 minutes the other day, and it was like I burnt 20 calories. I don't really know. I usually don't pay attention to that, but
Yeah, I always did. Yeah.
I know. I do it too. I look at I was doing the Stairmaster today. I'm like, how much longer I got? I'm only 200 calories. What the fuck?
yeah, it's so easy to take that back in. So,
Yeah, right.
I
I gotta plug my computer in real quick. So keep talking.
Yeah. Usually, I just pay attention to protein and sugar.
Yeah, right. That's it. That's it. So what do you got? What's going on, man? What are you doing this weekend? Anything or?
What is it? Oh, today's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't think so. We got but you made me think there's also something, a show here in Vegas that I should plug that's coming up. It's not a surprise, right?
No.
Of course not, because
No.
you won't know. But it's
Yeah.
March 23rd in Las Vegas. There's a show that's for Chris Bay to
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Plug
future
it in.
stars of wrestling.
Plug it in.
Yeah, future stars. Karrion Kross is going to be there. I know.
Yeah, okay, you already know about it.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Definitely want to do our part and spread the word on that.
It's at Silverton Casino.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, what a good benefit for him and
For
everything.
Bay.
A benefit.
Oh, benefit. That's an awesome way to do
Is
it.
that- Is that the one that's south of town towards?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the one that's
thank you.
Cracker Barrel, right?
Damn, that's cool.
Right.
Okay.
So how about that?
Yeah,
Yeah, guys.
a lot of wrestling going on, a lot of indies and stuff, a lot of shows going on in Vegas, huh?
Well, definitely on WrestleMania week there will be.
Yeah.
There always is. But
Yeah.
normally, I think there's only like 2 companies that I know of.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That run stuff over there. Got it.
FSW. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that doesn't count the midget wrestling down
Yeah.
at Nerd Bar.
Micromania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 3 with that FSW, and was the other one the Beast, or doesn't he have something?
Not right now.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Something else we're gonna do this weekend. We're gonna go see the new wrestling movie, Queen of the Ring.
Oh,
Queen
yeah.
of the Ring. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who stars in that?
I can't remember the actress's name, the main actress, but there's Tony Storm's in it. Naomi's in it.
Oh, Naomi too, huh?
Yeah, Naomi's in it. Oh my gosh. Camille is another name. I know I'm missing something. Jim Cornette's in it. He plays Sam
no shit.
Mushnick. Yeah, he
Yeah.
plays Sam Mushnick.
Forget it. I'm not watching it now. No, just joking. The commercial sold it to us. We saw it. We're like, man, that looks good. It looks like it might be about Mae Young. I don't know.
Oh, so Mildred Burke. It's about Mildred Burke. But,
Mildred Burke. Okay.
Mae
Okay.
Young. Somebody is
Gotcha.
playing Mae Young in that, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
A wrestler.
Yeah, I'll have to go check it out and support it. Definitely.
Good.
It's got some good actors in there too. Walton Goggins from Justified, and then Josh Lucas. I know he's in there. So that's a good cast. I need to check it out too.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too many good movies coming out, man. Lately.
No,
It's
that's-
not even. I was disappointed a little bit about Gladiator 2. I was like, it's just never as good as the first one. You know?
Yeah. Mhm.
I haven't seen that. I'm tempted to, though.
Yeah.
Leave room for disappointment, huh?
You
It's
got
not Russell Crowe. It's not Russell Crowe either, right?
No. Den of Thieves is good. Den of Thieves 2. That's good. Check that out.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, Den of Thieves. With
Yeah.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah, I remember the first one was really good. So the second one's pretty good. Check
That's
it out.
sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah.
Well, we got let's see if we got some good questions here. And some people are just sharing their memories. Jem the Dawn says, I remember when Earl got knocked out in the HBK Bulldog match, and Mike comes out for that one.
And
So-
save the day.
Save
Can I
the day.
or I get
Mike
knocked
saved
out?
the day too.
Yay.
Paulie Bromwell chimes in, loves me some Mike Chioda. So
All right, Paulie.
yeah,
What's happening, Paulie? What's going on, brother?
How about that? How about that?
I miss you, my man.
Steve Chioda and Robinson are my favorite refs, and definitely the guys I think of for main event matches in my lifetime. Can't think of another ref who got an arena-wide chant. How about that, right?
Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
Mike, how old were you when you started with WWE?
Like 18, 19. Yeah, 85 I started.
Wow.
So, and I used to work for Gorilla like when I was 15, 16. Used to work in the summer times to set up the ring with Victor Quinones and Joey Morella and Tony Chimmel.
Wow.
So and then like after high school, I came back and got my job back with them. And then
Victor Quinones, Tony Chimmel, and who?
it was Tony Chimmel. Victor Quinones used to run the ring for Gorilla Monsoon. This is when Monsoon owned the ring from Vince Sr., not Vince Jr., you know. So, and then Vince took over from Vince Sr., and then, you know, he took over everything. So, and then I got my job back when I was 18. I wanted, you know, go back into wrestling.
Yeah.
And it just took off from there. And then I started refereeing in 87 and then made my debut on TV. I had to pay the dues, you know, for a while, learn from the old school. And then started making my debut on TV in 89 and everything. So, and then, you know, from there on, it just took off, you know. So it was pretty cool because, like, even WrestleMania 4 and 5 was in Jersey and Atlantic City, and that was only an hour from my hometown. And it was just like, you know, we had back-to-back WrestleManias in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and that was cool, exciting. You know, and the career just took off from there. Chief Jay Strombo and Gorilla made me a referee. You know, Joey Morella helped me through the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
And it just started there, and I did ring crew for 23 years and refereed for you know, till almost 33 years. So it's like 35 years total with WWE in 2020.
Wow.
So
yeah. I remember when the news broke. I hadn't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, and you called me. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
I
Rob.
texted you and I said, well, that was a good run.
Yeah, it was. You sure did, man. And yeah, you know, you were positive attitude, and you cheered me up, man. It was great hearing from you, bro. Really appreciate that. One love, Rob. Really, man.
Mike, what'd you learn from Joey Morella working with him? Like, did he help you? Like, what kind of tactics and kind of things that really stood out that he was great at for you?
Man, he was great every way because he always used to pop the boys. He was funny.
Yeah.
He was Monsoon's son. He got a lot of respect, but he gave a lot of respect to the boys. He always used to tell me, you know, hey, handshakes are important. Make sure you say hello to everybody. Make sure you do this. And when you come in the locker room, and I'm talking like guys with George the Animal Steel, and you know, there was like even when Tony Gurria and Rick Martel were still wrestling, and you know, and there was just like old school talent. You know, Andre was still wrestling. He was on his way out, but it was Greg the Hammer Valentine. So many old school guys, man. So talking about King Kong Bundy, Big John Studd, all these guys I was growing up to the business with. So, and Gorilla Monsoon and like all the Samoans and Alpha and Sika, like these guys were huge to me, man. It was like, what the fuck? Like, you know, you never thought people were that big in life, you know? So, you know, when I got started in business, it took off, man. It was just a fabulous run for 35 years. So
that's great. That's great.
Traveled around the world, not all over, but at least 50 to 60 different countries, and a lot of them over and over and over, you know? So it's pretty cool.
Well attuned to the travel.
Yeah. I mean, you would have never learned that in any college education. So
no way.
Yeah, I learned a lot more than any college would have. You know.
What was it like? Did you have much interaction with somebody like Andre or anybody like that?
I mean, just interaction. I mean, besides getting his drinks for him and his alcohol when I was young, man, I could, you know, it's a trip, man. You know, one time Andre asked me, I think I was like, what, 17 or something, or 16. I was working for Victor and working at the Wildwood, New Jersey. We just do this show. You know, Andre was there. Place was packed every Monday wrestling in the summertime, Wildwood Convention Center. Mm-hmm. And this was in the like early 80s, 83 or something like that, 84. And next thing you know, fucking Andre asked me to go get him some alcohol, some vodka and some wine. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, boss. I can't get it for you, you know. And him sitting down in a chair, he was bigger than me, fucking, you know, back then. And it was just like, in his hands, and it was like, you'd always, he'd be fucking nervous talking because he spoke broken English. And he was like, go get me wine and vodka. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not old enough. I'm not old enough, you know. And like Lombardi and fucking all these Paul Roma and everybody comes over to me. Hey, you can't fucking tell them no. So I'm standing out and fucking, I'm like, he's like, what would you do if you wanted to get alcohol, beer or shit? I'm like, well, I'd go out in the liquor store, wait for somebody that's old enough. He's like, well, go fucking do it. So Andre gives me $100. I'm in this liquor store in Jersey waiting for somebody. Now I got it written down. It's Stoli vodka, this Russian vodka, and fucking French, 2 bottles of French wine. He used to drink that before he went in the ring. you know,
Oh my
at
god.
the end of the night. Yeah, I mean, he used to drink that. So I'm sitting there, and it was like 30 minutes. I'm waiting for this dude. I'm like, there can't be another door. I thought I got robbed. I gave him $100. Told him to get a case of Michelob or Lone Brow back in them days. I was like, you know, so now I'm fucking stressing. And the fucking guy comes out. And he's like, man, it took me forever to find that French fucking wine. I'm like, oh, you got it? He's like, I fucking got this. I come back, got the shit for Andre. Next, he gives me a $50 tip. I'm like,
No shit.
yeah, you know, and I'm already making like $300 from the ring and selling programs, and he gives me a $50 tip. I'm like, fuck yeah, whatever you want next, Andre. Yes, sir.
Hook you up.
But,
I'm 21 now.
yeah, man. It was, you know, there's some great times, like learning from some old school. And Joey helped me out tremendously with all that. So, and he helped me in the ring, you know. And unfortunately, his life was cut short, you know. So that was horrible, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, car accident.
Rob, something neat that's coming out. Well, Brian Solomon, who wrote the Sheik's book, right? He's writing Gorilla Monsoon's biography coming up.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they
And
called me for that.
Brian Alvarez on Rene Dupree's podcast the other day, and I knew that was wrong, and I was like, it's not Brian.
Brian Alvarez. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Different Brian.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I did. They called me for that book, man, and so I did
yeah?
an interview with them. Yeah, a while ago it was done. Yeah, so hopefully that comes out good.
Yeah, he does some good
excited
work.
to see that.
Yeah, he spent a couple of years, I think, writing it and making sure it's all laid out and everything. So I'm excited to see it too. But cool. Okay. Hey, before we get to anything, I guess I wanted to ask both you guys. And Mike, you mentioned WrestleMania 18 coming. It was your highlight match kind of thing.
Yeah,
now
it was a highlight match. Yeah, for
highlight
sure.
match
I
for
mean,
sure. Yeah.
certain ways, you know, because there was other WrestleManias and so many. I don't want to take away. I can never, because there's so many other WrestleManias where it was just like more of a different situation. Like, you know, the Rock and Hogan match wasn't a high flying match. It was iconic.
Right.
Icon. It was push off, shove off the way the crowd reacted to Hogan. The other matches I've done with like Brock Lesnar and Kurt Angle and Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar with the cash and Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins and Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon would take. So many matches I put for different reasons because it was just different style matches, you know.
Yeah.
So it's in a top category, but it's hard just to say it's the number one, you know. But
yeah, it's hard to pick anything like
for
that.
the reaction and all that, you know. So, but
Yeah.
I don't want to take away from all the other matches that were incredible and iconic and legendary matches, you know.
Mike,
always put on, you know, and I was third man in the ring.
Hey, Mike, do you have a wrath bump that stands out?
Yeah, the one with Shane McMahon, man, where he plasters me. Like I'm coming down the ring, and he just plasters me like he's hiding right over by the railing, and I'm coming down at full throttle, man. And all of a sudden, boom! I mean, he almost puts me in the stairs. He puts me like 3 or 4 or 5 feet in the air.
What was the plaster? What was the action?
Because I was coming down to save the day on a match, and then Shane, you know, Shane was the outfort. He was one of the, you know, enforcing the match for the heel, you know. So
like Corporation time, like WE Corporation, when it was like they're the villains.
Oh yeah, that was like early 2000s. Yeah.
In
Chicago. It was in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
You Google it, Shane McMahon bump, and it comes up, man. But there's a lot of the crazy bumps I've taken, you know.
What did he hit you with, though?
It's just a tackle.
Oh, really?
He comes out of blue, and he was a big boy, man. He's a big boy. And I'm coming down straight into the ring, and he just plasters me right from the side, blindsides me. Yeah. You know, it sends me flying, bro, flying. It looked good. It looked great.
Yeah.
It didn't even really hurt.
Good bump, though.
It looked fucking great, you know. That's one of them sticks out. There's a lot of bumps taken, you know, which are crazy bumps. I remember one time Taker threw me over the ring like he had to throw me, and Shawn was supposed to catch me. And fucking Taker, like, he paused. He was waiting for Shawn to turn around. Shawn would act like he turned around. And I heard him go, "What the fuck?" And then, like, he was like, and he threw me, right? Because he thought Shawn was going to turn around, and Shawn just fucking let me drop, right? And he says, I'm like, my hip's killing me and all that. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? You know, even on the mat, you know, Rob, that shit, like, you ain't got control of your body.
That sounds like a grab on you to me.
It was like, and with Taker, you're so high up in the ring with Taker, you know, being pressed. And Taker says to me, he's like, "Coyote, come here, man. I'm sorry." He goes, "I kind of fucking felt Shawn was never going to catch you." You know, because I I was like, oh shit, man.
I feel like maybe you cut in front of Sean at catering or something like that.
No, they cut in front of everybody else back in the day, man.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah, so it was, but there's some crazy bumps in there, that's for sure, you know.
Yeah.
But, nothing like, man, I'll tell you, like that Mick Foley thing's coming up. And I remember, carrying Mick and all that, and seeing his tooth up in his nose, man. I remember, like, because like he went on a stretcher one time. Then we went to get him, put him on a stretcher again. They wanted him on a stretcher, and he asked me, he was like, Mike, have I been on the stretcher before? And I said, yeah, Mick, you were on it one time already. He was like, I'm not getting on it. He got off the stretcher real quick. He was like, I'm not getting on it. So they're like, put him on a stretcher. I'm like, he's not getting on it. He said, I'm not getting on that stretcher a second time. So then he went through the top of the cage, right, Rob? And he hits that ring. We get in and we slide in there. And I thought it was a big snot in his nose. I thought his nose was like, and I knew the wind had knocked him out, like hitting that cage from his back, like landing on his back on the ring. And so then I seen it. I'm looking closer. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, oh shit, Mick. I'm like, your tooth is in your fucking nose. His tooth went up through his mouth, like his top of his lip, and lodged in his nose, in his nostril. I was like, holy shit. I mean, what Mick put his body on, it's coming up on the dark side of the ring coming up. You got to check it out.
Oh shit.
Coming up, I think next week or something, or a couple weeks. But so yeah, it's pretty cool, man. But what Mick did, man, at that back in end days, he took Hell in a Cell to a whole nother level, him and Taker,
Yeah.
They took, because I remember the ratings were through the roof, and then they were through the roof on Monday and Raw just to see, But yeah, it was dangerous.
Rob, did you ever want to do like a Hell in a Cell one-on-one kind of thing? Was that ever an interest to you, or like that kind of concept, or did you either way was like whatever kind of thing?
It's never crossed my mind.
No, never.
Yeah.
Yeah, some wild stuff for sure. But what I wanted to talk about, like WrestleMania 18, that's like such a classic match, Hogan and The Rock, and Hogan turns the crowd. But now we're getting the John Cena heel turn, and wanted to get your guys' perspective on that. Mike, let's start with you. Like, what did you think of the heel turn?
Okay, I get it, but I think it's a little bit too late, maybe, in his prime. Like, I remember there's some years, I mean, I'd be gone on 4 or 5 years. I remember the time, a couple years prior to that, like Cena was, he was rocking and rolling and stuff. And like, he was just babyface, right? So he's making all kinds of money on his merch.
Yeah.
And it was funny because like, I remember Rey Mysterio and some of the boys were like, hey man, I went up to the stand. There ain't no fucking merch of mine up there, right? It's all John Cena's. And I'm like, yeah, no wonder. I said, Vince and him are killing it on the merch. So they never wanted to turn him fucking heel because they were making so much money on the merch. And I believe it was because of the big things he was doing for Wish, Make-A-Wish and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he was doing huge things there, and being a heel, I don't know, it's a different, your merch goes down, and it was all a money thing. So now there's no money in merch, right? He's getting this big contract, so now he turns heel. I just think I think it would have been, they wanted him about 70 years ago probably to turn heel, which he could have,
Yeah.
So, but we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Rob, Katie, what did you guys think of it?
It's bringing a lot of attention to wrestling, because even Dee yesterday said, "What's a face and what's a heel?" And then I said,
"Yeah."
She said, "Oh, okay," because on TikTok I heard John Cena turned heel. So it's like even people that don't even pay attention to wrestling are like paying attention. Like it's like shook everybody.
Right. No, I know. No, I mean, what do you think, Rob?
I like it. I think that I feel the people everywhere excited about it.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking, and since he's on his way out, he doesn't have to worry about recovering from the image as far as like the Make-A-Wish Foundation, long term, like you're talking about. If he did it a couple of years ago,
right,
still under contract, then it would be hard to bring him back around or whatever. Now,
right,
you don't have to worry about it. That's not part of this last chapter. So
true.
Yeah.
No, it is good. He can run with it good. Hopefully, some people are saying different things like, does Jim Cornette manage him? Does this does he split away from The Rock? And does he get? I don't know. So we'll see. It could be good, man.
What do you guys think of his potential as being a heel and stuff like that? him making that move and portraying that role well as a bad guy that we haven't really seen him too much in.
Right.
Do you
I
think
think he's gonna crush it, and he's an actor too.
Yeah.
So he's gonna look at it as far as that part goes. You know, they know how to get into the mindset of what they want to portray, and he's obviously really good at that. And so, yeah, I think he's gonna crush it.
Yeah.
It'll be very entertaining to see how he heals on the fans and stuff like that.
Right. He's gonna have to turn it up a notch. He's gonna have to really turn it up. I think, you know, like there's different phases where a heel turns it up, and he really turns it up at certain points. And I think he's really gonna have to let loose on that. You know,
I bet they will. I bet you they'll show.
I mean, The Office. I mean, you know, if you got the machine behind you, I always said The Office. If they're gonna push you to the tilt, man, and make you, they'll do it. They can do it. You know,
it's time to give him something where he can like do the unthinkable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when Shawn Michaels kicked Marty Jannetty through the glass window.
Yeah. Right.
I had a buddy talking about that today too. That's what it reminded him of, was the Jannetty and Shawn Michaels thing, is Cena turning heel in this regard.
Yeah, there's a triple threat I did where Shawn Michaels, man, the first 5 seconds of the match, Shawn Michaels, Cena, and Triple H, and Shawn Michaels just had a blue super kicks fucking H right out.
I saw, that's
up. And the fucking crowd went nuts, man. It was like I was like, fuck, that looked great.
It did look really good.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
I think the thing that's going to benefit Cena too is he's not like the heel. It's like The Rock's the heel, and then Cena is like his lackey, which almost like makes him more unlikable in this situation, because it's like you could see Cena turning big bad guy heel, and he still might have that cool factor that people are like, oh, I kind of want to cheer him because he's finally turned heel. But now that he's like a lackey of The Rock, it works underneath him almost. It kind of adds to that. Oh, I kind of don't like him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you think they'll keep that way? You think they'll keep it that way?
I
or
think
split them off with somebody.
It makes him a tool. In my opinion, it just makes him a tool, you know.
Yeah. They're saying what it might be Cena, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be at WrestleMania.
It definitely is going to be that, or is it looking?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's because he won the Elimination Chamber, and so he earned the shot to face Cody at Mania. So that's going to be the headliner there.
I thought that was still open. Okay.
Yeah, no, they got that score settled right before he turned heel, actually. So they pulled a fast one.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. We got a couple of super chats here. Just Jem the Don says T-minus 13 days until Only Wrestlers Live. Much love, RVD and Dom. So
yeah, Mike, I don't know if you've heard anything about Only Wrestlers, but Katie and I started this entity. And it's a platform so fans can follow their wrestlers by subscribing to them, and we have stores on our fucking profiles, plus live feeds, videos, pictures, stories, whatever you want to do. And also we do live wrestling shows, and the fans that are followers, they get to vote on shit, you know.
Our first shit.
Cool. And it's something that's like long-term plans. It's set to build as it grows. So this is going to be our very first kickoff, and it's coming up. It's on the 20th.
All right.
And the fans got to select, like, they got to put some of the matches together.
Oh, okay.
And then next time they're going to vote on like what city that we come to. But you know, the more it grows, the more the association grows, the more the importance of what they vote on will grow as well. So a lot of fun. And you know, me and Katie are owners, but we got like over 300 of the wrestlers on it so far, and more signing up all the time.
All right, cool.
Yeah, this on the 20th, we got Charlie Haas and Chris Masters.
Oh, sweet.
Page.
Here's the meet poster here, right there.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Right there. So Violent J, Fonzie.
Yep, Masters. Oh, Fonzie too. All right.
Fonzie too. Yeah.
Nice.
I wasn't working with Fonzie too, because he was there like 92, 93 in WWE.
Yeah, Fonzie was great, bro. We used to hang out. We used to cause a lot of shit at the bars and stuff. You know, Fonzie never took no shit, and you know, just always hanging out. So Fonzie was a great guy. I always loved running into him too, man.
He's such a nice dude. So
Was Giant Gonzalez working for WWE when Fonzie was his?
Yeah. And then Fonzie was around for a while, but then and then he was gone.
Yeah,
from
he shows up in old pictures.
Yeah. Oh shit, I know.
he tells a story, Mike, where he kind of changed the dress code for refs. Where Vince, he came because he would dress up all slick and everything like that, and like make sure he was dressed real nice. And Vince saw it, and then he called all the officials around and was like, "I want everybody to start dressing." Do you remember anything to that effect?
It was everybody. We all started having to wear a dress code
Because of Fonzie.
Because like I remember, man, Rob. I remember you guys walked in. It was Manhattan Center, EC Dub, right?
Yeah.
You guys walked in. And then fucking ECW had all these fucking badass jumpsuits with ECW on it. Look at all. I'm like, damn, we can't even get jumpsuits like that. What the fuck? They're all wild. I'm like, fuck, we can't even get nice jumpsuits. Oh, it's popping, man.
Because I wear your ECW original jackets. This one's a chalk line one, but he has some that are like so cool and has his name.
Yeah, cool jacket. Yeah.
I know one of them I sold in Japan too. I think Yeah.
I know, it's funny, man. Like I was in when I was in Manchester, England. This guy goes, "Hey, mate," he's like, "Oh, is that an in-ring worn jersey?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, shoot." He was like, "How much?" He was like, he was like, "Unbelievable, mate." He was like, "Nowadays they must be worth more money because they changed the referee shirts." And I'm like, "Holy shit, I didn't even think about that."
Retro.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I'll give you 300 quid for it." I'm like, 300 quid? I'm like, all right, it's like 350 American. Got it.
There you go. Hey, wheeling and dealing.
Like, holy shit, these shirts I got at home now are even worth more money, maybe. I'm like,
that's it, man. Maybe start bringing them. Bring them to Vegas.
I had 200 referee shirts, Rob, from all these shows.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, for 35 something years, man. I you had your TV worn shirts, then they changed logos, 8 times,
Yeah.
So it was from like the old school WWF blue logo, yellow, and then the old this, and then the bow tie we have with all of the other shirts. I don't know, like 200 shirts.
I think at least $1,000 for each shirt.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, man.
That's what you got to do now.
Now there's no more black and white stripes. I'm like, holy shit, I might be.
You might be on a gold mine.
I still got about 100 and some shirts left. I got to get rid of some of this shit,
As real as it gets.
Keep all the important ones, all the WrestleMania ones and shit.
Right.
But I never thought my fucking referee shirts would be worth some money someday. How these Foot Locker shirts are worth something at least. And there's some ones, dirty ones, right? The guy's like, "I'll give you $400 or $500 for that." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, I'm like, "Well, I gotta wash it. It's like musty and it's like dirty." I'm like, "No." He's like, "No. Just keep it the way it is." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool."
You might want to check the DNA on it. And might have Andre the Giant in there.
That's Andre the Giant's blood. That's a spilt wine on there.
It still smells like smoke.
Yeah.
I have Big Show's blood on paper. It's a paper contract that was hanging from the ceiling in our ladder match.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I have that.
Really?
It's in my action figure room.
No shit.
So I could clone him. Maybe something.
Big Show.
Oh, yeah, look at this. I got my first action figure, Rob. Fucking yeah, like this. They did a pretty good job.
Oh, nice. Look at retro.
That's when I first started, Rob. Like when I was fucking 19, I think, or 20.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah.
When I was just fucking green.
It
did a pretty good job, man. It's first one.
Yeah. Who does WSW? Do you know? Is that like one of
it's on figurecollections.com. Yeah.
Okay. There's a bunch of companies there's a bunch of companies out that do it. I got hit by 3 or 4 different people who do figures, and I found out the hard way that I can't do it because one of them, I'm blanking on his name right now, but he did Sabu action figures. Anyway, I had to send him money back because Zombie Sailors.
Sailors, yeah. I've heard of them. Yeah.
So at Comic-Con in San Diego, he announced the new RVD figure that he's making, or he wanted to, and at the same day, Mattel wanted to announce that they were doing an RVD figure, and
shit.
at that time they hadn't done shit for a long time, so I didn't think it'd be an issue. But they sent me a letter that said they're going to do 2 or 3 that year, but they can't do it if I'm going to do the Zombie Sailor. So I had to send him his money back and everything, and said,
"Oh shit, yeah, Mattel though."
And I just talked to him like a couple of weeks ago. He reached out just to see if I'm still locked in, because when I'm able to, I'd like to do it. But yeah,
fuck yeah, and that's what Mattel, right? Mattel, right?
Hell
yeah, Mattel's the big company, Rob.
Mattel's
right. Yeah, so it's like, okay, no problem. I'll fucking let's move forward with your plans.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, let's go with you guys.
But they never tell you. They don't tell me anyway. The fans think sometimes that that I know when they're making RVD shit, but I don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, it comes out of nowhere sometimes, because you have that defining moments one that just got released, that with the obviously the dragon, but it was where Tommy Dreamer pile drives you, and then the other one, the 97 one that you have with your one single too that got released, Walmart exclusive. So yeah,
I got 3 or 4 in the last year, but I got them all.
Yeah. I remember we used to go to Mexico, Rey Mysterio, right? I'm like, damn, Ray, you're gonna make some fucking money out here in Mexico City and all this, right? On some merch. He's like, no way, Kyoto. He's like, I'm not making anything. I'm like, why? And it was like years ago we went there, and like they had all his shit bootlegged everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Everywhere. And I'm like, in all these cities we went to in Mexico, man, Leon and here and there, he couldn't make no extra money on his merch, man, because they had 15 million masks and his gear and his shirts and Rey Mysterio shirts. I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah, man. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I come back to my own country, I can't make a dime off my merch.
That's
Would he still sign it for the fans?
Oh, of course, Ray would.
He's such a nice
Ray
dude.
The boys wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like,
Ray would, yeah. But it was just funny because we used to rib him. He ain't making no money. Yeah, like because I never had merch myself, so I used to bust the ball. When I could bust their balls, Shit, they didn't give us merch or nothing. The refs, man.
Do you guys remember? This is for both of you guys. Do you guys remember interacting with Dom backstage when he was younger, like during the Eddie Guerrero angle and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's Dom. Like, let me tell you, like the years I left about 4 or 5 years ago. Dom was hanging out with me and Ray, and Ray was showing him the road, traveling and just getting used to the hotels every week. And he just got out of college and finished that up really. And then I was like, damn, you trained him. He was like, and Dom was like grabbing my ref bag, and I was getting hot because I was like, Dom, no, I got my ref gear. He's like, no, I got it. Like Ray's like, no, let him grab it, Kyoto. I'm like, Ray, I got my fucking bag. I can't let. I've known Dom since a kid, baby. Right. So anyway, he was just grooming him, and he was grooming him. He's making him drive from town to town. He's making him drive us, And next thing you know, man, a couple years later, bro, he just caught on so fast, and he was a perfect heel. And he grasped it so fast. Like some people do, some people don't, But I'm just so shocked to see where Dom is right now. It's unbelievable. I'm so proud of him. So proud of him.
It's very impressive. It's very impressive. How about you, Rob? Did you have any early interaction you remember with Dom?
I did, and I feel like there was no like in between him being a baby and him being where he's at right now.
He went from baby to adult.
Yeah, for me, like I must say, a space I didn't see him or something, because he was always like, really young and little and cool little kid, But then all of a sudden, like, bam, he's in the business, wrestling. I didn't even know that he was interested in doing that myself, But
Yeah, it was funny because, like, I remember being at me and my wife Meredith. We were at San Diego because we were invited to his daughter. So is her 15th? It's quinceañera. There's a quinceañera in Rosarito, Mexico, right? It was like Rosarito, a little bit outside of, And Aaliyah, she turned 15, and this thing was like a fucking wedding. I was like, me and my wife were like, we had our own hut off the water, off some big ass mountain. They had it all set up so beautiful. And I was like, and Ray's like, I was like, how many people are going to be here? Ray's like, about 350, 375 or something like that. I'm like, for a quinceañera, she was big day. You know, she turns into a lady now, man. And I'm like, at 15, bro. I'm like, oh my stars. I'm like, it was like a wedding, bro. It was like, I was like, Ray. I was telling Angie, I was like, Angie, we're like, what are you gonna do for a wedding? Like, I mean, this was like a wedding, you know. It's beautiful, man.
I feel like I don't know half that amount of people if I had to, if I depended on it. I don't know.
Yeah. And Dom told me, I remember telling us, Dom said, I'm going to be a wrestler. And me and I remember Ray and we were all Sammy. Sammy was sitting there and oh man, a couple other the boys, and we were like, man, I don't know, man. You know, we're kind of like, just I don't know if you want to get into the wrestling business. It's a cutthroat business, you know. Get your education, get this, you know. But Dom did it, man. He did it.
Yeah.
It's crazy too, because how big of a star Rey Mysterio is and how iconic he is. Like, you'd think that it would be so hard to get out of your dad's shadow and be something different.
Right, right.
He's able to do that, and like just get that heel heat where Rey Mysterio gets all that baby face heat, and Dom, he can barely get words out, and he's getting booed out of the building.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it's amazing how he just clicked, you know. I mean, but look at the generations of wrestling that, you know, in the family.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, the generations is there. So he's been around his whole life.
Right.
So I'm glad he picked it up quick.
Yeah, he definitely did it.
He's running with it.
He's running with it, man. Big Rocco gives a shout out to you, Mike.
Big Rocco. Right. What's up, Rocco? What's going on?
We also got Mac Blackstock for $5.
Matt.
Love your face, Yoda. Zombie. Best ref ever.
Zombie, what's up, man? How you doing, Matt? Great to see you, brother. Love your face, man.
Good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. He's on my podcast on I Had Free all the time.
Oh, really? Is he?
Yeah,
oh, nice.
He's on there all the time. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Great guy, man. Great
guy.
guy.
They did Roca, or is it Rocca? ROCCA.
That's a good. I would say Rocca, but I could be wrong.
You did say Rocca.
I did say Rocca.
When you say Roca, or would you say Rocca?
Maybe I did say Roca to start off. Maybe you're right.
No, I didn't say you did. Don't be putting words in my mouth now.
Oh.
You're in trouble with the own words coming out of your mouth.
I don't even know. I might have said one over the other.
Oh, man. That's cool. Cool.
Yeah. Mike, what I know you get asked this all the time. But what are some pet peeves that you see a lot in refereeing today that would really be
well, you know, I always say, like, you know, you're there, you got to call a match straight down the middle, 50-50. You know, you just got to referee. Definitely. I mean, you got to call it down the middle. You really do, and you got to enforce the rules and regulations. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't go into business for yourself. You know, the more you attract, you know, people towards the match, you're taking away from the, you know, you're trying to take away from the match. Don't oversell. You oversell everything. You know, you as a referee, you see 50 million punches, clotheslines, all these drop kicks. There's certain things when it's time to sell a big spot, you know, and really sell. If you're selling just everything, it just makes it hard. So, I mean, you really gotta just don't go into business for yourself. Don't oversell, and you know, call a match down the middle. And you just gotta, you know, just don't go into business for yourself. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah.
So I see a lot of that. A lot of overselling, a lot of, you know, and they're flapping their hands everywhere. And it's like, oh my God, it drives me nuts.
I remember you saying on an older show too, that maybe with Paul or somebody, but you were like, your job is to be non-existent, to like, forget about you. And
less is more. The less you're seen, and the less you're not in the picture when you need to be seen. You know, you're doing your job as a referee. But if you're in the picture too much and you're overselling and you're flapping, you know, and you're causing commotion to yourself, you know, it's just that, you know.
Right.
But I see a lot of that. So
Rob doesn't like when announcers overreact too.
Yeah. Like really overreact, you know, sometimes just too much over the top.
Oh my Jesus fucking God, did you see that dropkick? It came from outer space.
I know.
Well, that old certain You know, the announcers do like that. Yeah.
Oh man, I know. But
One thing, it's not really the refs, but it's what I think of. But this would be on the wrestlers, not really on the refs. But you know how like in the dub, how like the rule everything like cycles. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know how like there was a while, and it probably came around a few times in your career where Vince would say, "Okay, I want my refs to have credibility."
Right.
Shoulders aren't up. You may freak out. Right. If you don't have the boss's blessing behind that, and you're fucking people's finishes up, because they kick their fucking shoulder, they can't get the shoulder off the mat. Then there would be heat. But that's what I hate is a lot of wrestlers think just kicking their feet is a kick out.
Right.
Shoulders don't move at all. But the 1, 2, and they kick their feet, but they're still laying down in the.
Yeah, you got to kick out strong, man. You got to kick out. Got to kick out strong. And I see a lot of times where guys don't even hook the legs, and it's like they're going into these false finishes into the finish, and all these major false finishes. They don't even hook the leg. Like to me, it's like you're not trying to win a match, and even if it's a title match, you're trying to hook the leg, man. Like 1, 2, boom, kick out.
Too many times they look like they're already ready and waiting to get to jump off.
Yeah. And sometimes they kick out. But that's that's when you sit there. The ref should do that too when he's counting 1, 2. All right, get ready to kick, go kick. And I did that a lot. Talking to the talent.
Yeah.
So it comes down to the major false finishes, and if I get that swipe and you just barely kick out at the same time, and you get those people off the front row in the first level, man, they jump off their seats. You're doing your job, right? I mean, it takes 3 to tango. It takes, it takes 5 to tango in a tag match. And, I always said like I was the third man in the ring. I felt like, and I was the third man in the ring for so many great matches. And like yourself, Rob, being in the ring with you, man. And it was a pleasure, man. I had great times.
Indeed.
Hopefully we'll be able to do it again.
Right.
That's it.
Did you ever beef with other refs?
Did what? I'm sorry.
You have like drama or beef with other refs?
No, I mean, not really me myself. I mean, I was established at a pretty young age with the WWF as a referee coming up. Even like when Earl was doing his matches, I was always doing these fantastic matches. It always winded up like in 2002, like there was times like when I had the Rock and Hogan match, Rock and Hogan wanted me to do their match. And then Earl had to do the main event. So it was like that match was, it was like I was doing a lot of fantastic matches with Bret Hart back in the day and Undertaker. And I felt like when the WCW refs came over in the early 2000s, great. Because, I was wondering if we would lost our job, we'd be trying to get a job down south at, with Ted Turner's network, right?
Yeah.
And Charles Robinson came over, Nick Patrick, a bunch of great guys, man. And, we had a bunch of fun. And, we merged with ECW when Fonzie came over, and all this is a manager and a referee. And it was great to work with all the different guys, man. So I really didn't have like beef with the refs. I mean, I do one time remember when there was like somebody politicked their way out of pulled the ref out of a Shawn Michaels Undertaker match. And, it was a huge match at a WrestleMania or something, whatever. And he kind of politicked his way in, and Charles Robinson had that match. And then he had gotten pulled out, I'm not going to mention any names, but, that was some huge drama. I'll tell you that, because, it was somebody politicking with Shawn, so it was like, oof. And I'll never forget that day. Like, you get pulled out of your WrestleMania match, and it was like Undertaker, Shawn Michaels match too.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest drama I ever witnessed. With that. So.
I love Charles Robinson. And did you ever have to put Baby Hap in his place?
Nah, Baby Hap. Nah, I had to carry him in his place. I'll tell you that. I had to carry him in his place. I remember fucking it was like 3:00 at TVs, and Johnny's like, "Hey Mike, where the fuck is Brian Hebner?" I'm like, "I don't know, Johnny. What the fuck? I don't know where he's at." He's like, "Oh, whoa, what the fuck?" He's like, "Go check the TV. Tell him fucking get the key to his room." And I fucking go to his room. He's got like 24 beer bottles all over the room. He's passed out. I'm like, how does your skinny ass drink this much fucking beer? He was funny though, man. I'm doing his podcast in next week, man.
Oh,
Jimmy
cool.
Oh, I
Corderas.
just saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
online.
so you know, we were talking the other day, you know. Yeah, Brian was, you know, he was a good referee, man. You know, he's a really good referee, and I was wondering, I wish his career would have went a little longer with WWE. You know, didn't go that long. So.
I worked with him in TNA as well.
Yeah, he was good. He's a hell of a referee, bro.
Good dude.
So,
Yeah,
I like all
yeah.
that.
Yep.
the Hefners are quite the crew, quite the fun crew.
No doubt, man.
Let's see. There was wanted to see if there was another chat here. Oh, dang it, what was I gonna ask you? Yeah, how would it in overall? What do you guys remember first meeting? Actually, like, do you remember the first time you guys met or ran into each other?
Yeah, I first ran into Rob. I think when you came into ECW in Manhattan Center.
Oh, for like the 97 and stuff?
Yeah, like late 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think the Manhattan Center was the one where Sabu jumped off of the R on Raw, and I wasn't actually in that one.
I remember you were there at one of them though. Definitely when you guys came in. You know, because I remember it was a big deal. I don't know who you were working with or somebody else, and some of the other guys they were all having problems. This one going over, that one's going over. No, I ain't doing a job for this, but dude, you know, it was like it was like that back then. You know,
well, that's how it ended up.
Yeah. I mean, it was some situations like that, you know. So, but I remember it had to be in the late '90s and stuff. Like I remember traveling with Rob a lot and getting that poster in 06, you know, signed by Rob there. So yeah, it had to be in the late '90s. Because I remember I used to go to some of the ECW shows you guys used to have up in Pennsylvania. It was like that barn warehouse or a barn or something, like barn or something. That place in a couple hours out. It was a couple hours out.
In the Philly, near Philly, more so?
Yeah, outside Philly.
Okay.
You know? But it was
something.
Yeah, it was someplace outside of Philly. I've showed up there a couple times.
Sounds like a wonderful place.
It was. The locker rooms weren't that great, but it was a fun time.
Somebody asked, I can't find the chat, Mike, but somebody asked if you have a Mount Rushmore of referees.
Man, I'd have to say, you know, not just because I grew up with Joey, I'd have to say Joey was up there, you know, because him doing the Hulk Hogan and Andre match when Andre passed the torch to Hogan. You know, he's done some incredible matches throughout his career, all the way up to like the '92 in Wembley Stadium when I refereed that night, but he refereed the British Bulldog and Bret Hart 45 minutes straight, man, at 82,000 people at Wembley Stadium. So, I mean, growing up with Joe, I'd like to see him on there. That's for sure. I definitely, you know, there's a lot of, no disrespect to all the, you know, the Southern guys that work the Southern territories, you know, Tommy Youngs and all that, but I never got to see them ref, right? So I'm going to have to say something like a Charles Robinson would be up there, Earl Hebner, Joey, Earl Hebner, Charles Robinson. And I'd probably, you know, I probably would have to go with probably, I don't know. I don't want to put myself there,
I would put you there
because I'd like somebody else to vote that or something.
Yeah, I'll vote for you. Yeah, Rob, you got our vote. You got our vote.
Dom's cat was fucking with the action figures.
He is. He's knocking all my shit over.
Is that a black cat?
Black cat, yep. He's a chaotic agent.
Mike, is Gene LaBelle on your Mount Rushmore?
What's that?
Gene LaBelle?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because he did. He refereed, right? He did referee too.
Yeah,
right?
he refereed.
Yes,
Yeah,
California dude.
I'd you know, damn, who else? I would probably have to go with besides that, maybe Nick Patrick. You know, back
he's a good one.
He's been around a long time, and I've seen him work with him a lot more. Like I said, no disrespect to the Tommy Youngs and all that other stuff, but I never got a chance to really see a lot of his work.
Yeah. I hear great things.
I was so busy on the road traveling all the time. So, there's a lot of shows that when you work for the company for so many years and then traveling so much, you didn't get a chance to see all the other wrestling. Sometimes late at night, you'd get to see it on late at night, or, WCW, when we were awards with that, we used to watch that,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we used to watch that in locker rooms and all that shit. But besides that, you didn't get the chance to see much.
Mm-hmm. People are saying Tim White too.
Yeah, Tim White. I mean, Tim White was already in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
So he's the first ref ever, and love Timmy White, man. So, and I'd love to see him be in the Hall of Fame too. I loved seeing him in the Hall of Fame, getting put in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, the big announcement was today. Lex Luger getting announced for it, which is awesome for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I just seen Lex in the Love of Wrestling over in Manchester. So he moves around, man. He's getting around everywhere. So it's great to see Lex out there, man.
Did you see that clip that he's talking about where Cody tells Lex that he's going to be in the Hall of Fame?
No, I didn't see that clip.
Oh, it was pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Made me cry.
DDP's working out with him, so he's already got the cameras on him and shit, so he doesn't, suspect.
Doesn't expect
it. Set up for this, and Cody comes into DDP's house and then tells him, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And
no shit.
Yeah, the whole thing's touching, but I think my favorite part is when he stood up.
Yeah.
DDP says, "Come on, you got to," because I don't know if he thought of that because he was sitting there. It's like, wow, blown away. And then DDP's like, "Bro, you got to stand up for this." And he stood up, and hugged Cody or whatever. And I just thought like that was
cool,
was it for me. I thought
that is cool.
Beautiful stuff. I'm excited to hear Lex's speech too, because he does a really good. He inducted Sting into the Cauliflower Alley thing we were at, Rob.
Yeah.
And he had a great opening speech for Sting and everything like that. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, Sting's killing it out there, man. I see he's out there. He was out there in Manchester and all these places on that, man. The line is like wrapped around the fucking building. I'm like, this guy's hands got to get tired, man, signing all this shit. I'm like thinking.
Did you see too? This is the last time he's wearing the face paint too. He's done with it.
Really?
That's
After what?
After like the year, I think. I think this is the last year he's touring around with the face paint on. So
really,
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So cut back on the budget a little bit.
Cut back on the budget.
I'm not gonna bother. I'm not gonna shave anymore after next year.
It's got to take time to put that on, probably. Too.
Oh my god,
maybe an hour or two or something. It's like.
Papa Shango. He has the goatee.
I mean, Godfather still puts. I just seen him too, man. He still puts the Papa Shango face.
Does he?
Yeah. Jeff Hardy paints his face like.
Yeah.
Place it because he speaks through his art.
Oh yeah, Jeff is badass. I know. He's got some talent. He's got some talent.
Big time he does. Man, well. Let's see. I wanted to see if there's anybody else had any super chats or anything like that. Don't know what Maddie's saying here. He says RVD/Austin/Goldust to assist Cody at WrestleMania 420. And did Vince ever get high? There's a question there, I guess.
I like how the question's all one word.
It's all one word.
I've heard Vince and his stories of smoking. I've heard his stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he had his fun.
What up, Maddie, Mr. Marijuana?
Mr. Maddie. He's a regular here.
I don't think that I have ever heard stories of him. So I can't remember any stories. I definitely haven't seen it. I can only remember hearing about him drinking back, especially that day I'm in the club when he took the Road Warriors clothesline. And then the Heart Foundation gave him the finish, afterwards. And that was one of the stories that I heard about when Vince used to be able to let loose with the guys. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never smoked with Vince, but I've heard some stories he smoked before.
Yeah,
you're the one that,
back in the day.
He popped hard when you gave him the rolling papers.
Yeah. But I know you're the one that told me that Shano was cool to it back in the day. And
yes.
I remember in New York, it must have been the fucking what's the Madison Square Garden?
That's Square Garden, MSG.
Did we go up on a roof and there's
sure did.
No shit.
Remember, overlook the city and shit. Parts of the city we'd overlook right from the roof and
Ooh,
toke
I
out
love
there.
that.
Man.
That's my favorite.
Oh, it was pretty cool. So it's just such an old Mecca building. We were up in the roof and stuff.
Yeah.
What a view.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember
was
like
that referee there, Mike, the Madison Square Garden and everything. Was that pretty surreal for you to go there?
Yeah, I mean, well, going there when I was young, right? Like you knew like the Garden was like, the Mecca building of everything, like the New York Knicks and this and that, and just wrestling with Bruno Sammartino, with going way back with those days, and Snooker coming, all the shows and Gorilla Monsoon. So growing up, but realizing later on down the road what you accomplished working all those days in Madison Square Garden in front of a sold out crowd all the time. It was just amazing. Working in London at the O2 was amazing. Working in South Africa, working in Japan, working so many places was just totally amazing. Working in Rome and so many cities. So yeah, it's Madison Square. That's the top. That's the top of the list right there.
You can't beat
in
that.
The world, yeah. In the world, yeah.
Yeah, pretty damn neat stuff right there. So we have this is Big Rocka again. $10.
Big
Rocka says, happy Friday, everyone. Hoping to see Robin Mania. It's only fitting considering it's 420.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Quick question. When you won Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 22, did that feel like your WrestleMania moment, Rob, when you won the Money in the Bank?
Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
It totally did.
Right? Yeah, it had to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That was a huge moment.
Huge moment. And I didn't even understand all the ramifications, like what all that meant, because I guess they'd only done one Money in the Bank run before with Edge,
Mm-hmm.
and I missed it. So I didn't really understand that, that. I mean, I understood what they told me, that later on, you can cash that in, but that just sounded like something the storyline people will figure out later, whatever. The match, had a lot of top guys in it. Shelton and I think Flair, right? And Matt Hardy and Fit Finlay.
Damn.
Bobby Bradley. I'm not sure. Bobby Bradley, or not Bobby Bradley. The big black dude that sounds like Bobby Bradley.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. What I remember the match a lot was doing like a springboard or some kind of a drop kick with the chair and hitting someone on the ladder. Like I'm always excited about getting the hardcore moves in or something creative, especially something that wouldn't normally be allowed, but that could be. And of course, I remember winning it afterwards. And afterwards, when I went through Gorilla, I tried to hand it off. Everyone's like, great match. I was like, all right, yeah, whatever, here you go. And they're like, no, that's yours. Michael Hayes, that's yours. Like, what do you mean it's mine? I go, no, you hang on to that. And I was like,
got to carry it? What?
Somebody else. They're like, no, that's yours. And
you got to carry that.
I got to carry this with my bags. I mean, I'm already carrying the max, without having to check a bag in, which would take an extra hour out of my day every day,
Right.
So tell them what you did with it.
Oh yeah, so I ended up using it as my carry-on. I started using I stuffed the socks and underwear and everything in there because I would have to bring that and shove it over top and then have my wrestling bag that has all my other crap in it.
Was it a Halliburton or was it a cheap bag?
It was a Halliburton.
It was a Halliburton, right?
Oh, so there you go.
Pretty cool, I thought.
Chipping when you were like putting it up in the air.
It always would chip, and then I had to keep sending it back to Joe and having him like retouch it up, and it would always chip. That's why I don't bring it around to conventions right now, because I when he stuffed it overhead, it would flake off and whatever. Like, fuck, there's another hole in it now, and I can't fix it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You got Joe Holland for that, baby.
Right, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, he got busy. I was sending it to him. I thought at one time we might have had two and had it in rotation, but If that was true, that would mean another one exists somewhere. I gotta ask him that next time I talk to him.
And how long did you keep that for?
When did I win it? And then I kept it till June.
Yeah, so like April. So you kept it for a few months, and you had to ride with it for a few months. Then WrestleMania's in April, so.
But was it at a WrestleMania that I got the Money in the Bank?
You won it April 2nd, 2006.
WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then so
WrestleMania 22.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 22. Yep. Mm-hmm. That was, where was it based at? I'm trying to see locate. Oh, Chicago, Allstate Arena.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good people in Chicago. I love wrestling in Chicago.
Yeah, that fucking that arena's badass.
That arena's like, historic now.
So I cashed it in sometime before the match. Like I had the match in June, but a few weeks before I went up to John Cena and said, I'm cashing it in. At ECW, one night stand.
That's his young Rob impression. Young RVD impression is one of my favorites.
Oh shit. That's cool though. Is it more money to have the cash in that the case in the Money in the Bank case?
What's the question?
Like you make more money when you win the title. Was it more money if you carried the case?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like in a
Dude,
check?
there was never any way to determine what they were paying me for. It was always just so random. You know?
It fluctuates sometimes. Yeah, when you're paying.
All the time. All the time. So because I had the annual guarantee, but I was making way more than that. So once you do that,
right,
you throw that out the window. So when I get a check, it might be, it could be $4,322, and I'm not going to. It'll say what town or towns.
Yeah, I know that. That's why I went strictly on my downside. I said, "Fuck, just pay me my downside."
Okay.
I got tired of fluctuating shit. Johnny was killing us on the Europe tours, man.
One time when we brought, we brought ECW back to WWE.
Right.
All of a sudden, I was getting $500 a night.
Wow.
And that was, way, way under what I was getting before. And I was like, okay, I get it. Because I wanted ECW so bad. They're making me suffer for it. And we're doing shitty arenas and stuff. And then, anyway, I talked to JR about it because he was the guy in charge.
Right.
And I was like, man, $500. And I'm wrestling Big Show. And he's reportedly, making at least $1 million a year, which is 20 grand a week. Anyway, and he said, the ECW shows aren't drawn enough. He said, I have to take from the SmackDown pool in order to pay you guys what I'm paying you. And so then that was one of the many times where I was like, well, that doesn't seem fair to anybody, like, if you're supposed to pay the SmackDown guys out of 15% or 20% or whatever it was of the gate, and you're giving us some of that, then you're screwing them over. Like I don't know. The only other times that I complained to him about money, he just said, "You're right," and gave me more money.
Yeah. Jar was good. I mean, I remember I was reffing a match between Big Show and fucking Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has Big Show in a hold right down on the mat. And they're talking about, he's like, "Hey, Show, what did you get for the fucking pay-per-view?" Right?
Why they're out there on the mat?
Yeah, we're on the mat, and like,
dude, that sounds like Brock, you wouldn't believe.
Brock always
used to be in a movie. I'd be like,
he always used to fuck with Big Show, always. They always fuck with Big Show, right? And this is when Brock was young,
I turned on Eddie Mansfield Lifetime script because it felt like that.
So, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm asking Big Show, what do you say, Show? You want to give it up? And like you're talking back and forth. And then like I did the match at the pay-per-view like 3 months ago, and we used to wait 3 or 4 months for our paychecks. And it was like, and Show's like, he was like, "Oh, I got 200. He was like, "Oh, you got 2?" He's like, "I got fucking 300 grand for that." He goes, "I got 300 or something, And he was like, Show's like, "What the fuck?" He was like, and he started getting hot. He started coming up out of the hold, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, what the fuck? Are we talking about that last pay-per-view check? And Show's like, "Yeah, Kyoto. And I'm like, I got $2,500 for that fucking match. They're like, and fucking Brock's like, shut up, Kyoto, shut the fuck up. He's like, yeah, I got. Show's like, how the fuck did you get $100,000 more than me? You know, he's fired up on this live event. And I'm going, what the fuck? $300,000, $200,000? I got $2,500. I'm like, this ain't fair, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
But it was funny. It was because it was at a pay-per-view, and then they went back at it remember when the ring collapsed? I was in there for the ring collapsing, Yeah. And I remember them going back at it in the locker room, and Show was like, I ain't saying nothing. Brock was like, what the fuck? What'd you get, Show?
What'd you get?
Oh man, it's funny though. But,
So would the pay scale change, Mike, depending on the match that you refereed? So say if you referee
certain guys, certain pay. Like if I did a WrestleMania match and pay-per-view match, pay went up. Hey man, I was happy as a referee making that kind of money and still making ring crew money when I did ring crew because I was doing both jobs. Yeah, for the longest time. So I had the best of both worlds. It was cool, man. It was definitely
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was
the ring crew money and the ref money, like make your time.
Yeah, and I was getting everything paid for, hotels and all that stuff. The last 10 years of my career or so, 12 years, like I was just a referee where I just, you had to pay for hotels and cars and everything, but it was all right. I went out a nice big downside, and I was happy with that. So yeah, it was not bad at all.
Didn't they want to put you in a video game once, but someone blocked it? Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny blocked it, man. They had me in. Yeah, they had me in for like a year. And then I was like, Johnny, and all the boys like, hey, Kyoto, what'd you get for your fucking your royalty check? And I'm like, I ain't fucking get nothing, right? Like, oh, I got $40,000, and I'm like, $40,000. I'm like, what? So I finally get the balls to go to Johnny. I go to Johnny. I'm like, Johnny's like, oh, well, Mike, I got to check in on things. I got to talk to some people. I'll get back to you. I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, so he didn't get back to me, but they took me off the fucking next video game, put a generic guy in from The Office. Yeah. So they paid him $2,500.
Oh, motherfucker.
Generic guy, just a one-time payment. And he was in the video on SmackDown. I was like, motherfucker. I was like, shit, I should have said that. I was like, should have went to Vince. I should have went to fucking Vince.
And then history's changed. Just because of one person's ruthless, cold-hearted decision.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. But they're still not doing as much. They're not doing any action. Like I go to Walmart and Target. I'm thinking, like, how do I get my action figures? There's no referees in there. Not even AEW refs. Nowhere. Like just wrestlers. And I'm like, damn. Like even at Christmas time, you think put that referee in there. They buy a referee with the wrestlers,
The refs, so the kids would rather play with someone they recognize.
Yeah. I mean, they don't even do them though. WWE, they don't do them.
As a kid, I remember getting the referee figure, and I was pumped because I was like, finally, I can have somebody call fucking matches in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, right? Try and have a match on TV without a referee.
Right.
Pretty hard.
Yeah. Jeez.
Hey, see if bring the prayer video up so that we don't forget. See if we can get Mike to join us in a prayer from a fake man of God, fake man of good values, Miss Bobby Fulton.
All right, you guys ready? Okay, bump it up here.
Join us in prayer for this week.
All right.
Your buddy Bobby, I just want to let you know, I tried to tell them what a little bit low down piece of shit you was from the get-go. But we found out again and again and again. You're fucking banned permanently from any fucking show. I see you around, it will be a fucking problem. You feel me? I hope you do. You're nothing but a fucking thief. Come around those shows, try to show autographs and shit. You're a low-life, egg-sucking, cop-sucking motherfucker. And that comes straight out of the Bible. You feel me?
I feel you.
You feel me?
Feel me? Oh,
Have you ever had the pleasure of being around Mr. Bobby Fulton. But
Oh shit!
have you ever worked with him?
No, I never did.
Oh, probably not, yeah, because
No.
WWE.
He was more south. Yeah, he was.
He was more south, Southern branch, right?
Mhm.
No doubt.
Jeez.
He was doing the fake Bible thumper gimmick for a while, but he got kicked out of church for being. He literally did. Yeah.
Quite the grip.
Yeah. Show the other poster so that people.
Oh
know
yeah, the other poster too.
they're
Yep.
in the Ohio area and they want to go to a wrestling show this week.
Boom. Go to nothing but a good time.
Nice. Look at that card. That's a good card right
Yeah.
there.
You got
Yeah.
Mick Foley there. JBL.
Yep. Check
Mhm.
it out, man. Make
And
sure
I was
you
just-
know.
I'm in the community
Is
chat
that
saying
Enzo?
on Only
Yep.
Wrestlers, and they said they want Sandman as a guest on here. That would be awesome.
Oh, he would
And
be.
a Mexican suggested that. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I seen him in Philly, man. He looked good, man. He was looking good. We talked to him for a little while, man. It was good to see him.
He'd be
Good
great.
to see him.
I think my Mike Chioda and my Sandman voice are very similar.
Yeah, you know what? I used to, you know how much heat, Rob? I was just gonna say that. How much heat overseas, international fucking Sandman be running the hallways, yelling and fucking 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I'm getting calls from the fucking agents going, Kyoto, what the fuck are you doing running down the halls at 4 or 5 in the morning? I'm like, that wasn't fucking me. I don't fucking know who it was, but I knew it was fucking Sandman, right? And I'm going, God damn, I must have got like 3 phone calls that whole trip. I'm like, I
Who's
know.
got a crack pipe?
I'm like, oh my God, you'd hear him all the way through the fucking hallways. And I'm like, and I'm sitting in my room going, it does fucking sound like me. Oh my God, what the fuck? It does sound like me. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Sandman, can you lower it just a little bit? He's like, oh, brother, fuck. I don't remember last night. I'm like, I'm getting heat.
Man, yeah, he's getting it all for you.
Oh, Briscoe was calling me. This one was calling me. I was like, what the fuck? It's funny.
Stop me.
I wasn't even doing nothing. But yeah, I love Sam, man. He was funny.
Yeah.
He was great to work with, man.
Man, good stuff.
Dude.
Mike, is there anything you want to plug too? Like,
No, I mean, I'm just, I'm on social media very little, but at MJC Kyoto on Twitter, Mike.Kyoto on Instagram and stuff, and on Facebook, same thing. So, and just got some shirts at Pro Wrestling Tees, check them out. The rep of my childhood and all that, and my new action figure, the retro one right here.
yeah, pop it up again.
There,
We'll pop it up.
bam, yeah. The retro there, figurecollection.com. So yeah, that's it. So I'm creating the own website. Yep, that's it.
There it is.
But I got to get on social media a little bit more, man. My wife's like, she's getting on me. You got to get out there. You got to get on Instagram. You got to get here, So, and we were out in London and we started posting some pictures and it was fun, man. Getting a hell of a reaction. So
Tell your wife to look up onlywrestlers.com and see.
okay.
That might be the great
All right,
platform
check
for
it
you,
out.
too, Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check it out. We will. Onlywrestlers.com. Check it out.
He
Definitely.
has a bunch of shirts.
Yeah, getting there.
Oh,
okay.
Is that we'll pop it up here?
Yeah, getting some designs together, third man to ring and stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Select.
All the styles.
Yeah, the shirts do pretty good. Yeah,
Nice.
it's not bad. Yeah,
Pretty
Pro
good.
Tees. Yeah, Pro Tees.
Look at
right
that.
there.
Pro Wrestling
Oh,
Tees. Go to
yeah,
3 T's to success.
yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Pro Tees and the Pro Tees.
Hell
That's cool,
yeah.
man. Well, thanks for having me on, Rob. Really
Absolutely,
appreciate talking
man.
to you. Good
Yeah,
seeing you,
glad I
baby.
was able to get a
You
hold
guys
of
have
you.
a good night.
Yeah.
I'm always good seeing you. Yeah,
Mike, always nice to see you too. We'll see you in Vegas, huh?
Yeah, see you in Vegas, guys. We got to get together, go to dinner, please.
Be
For
awesome.
sure.
The
Yeah.
conventions get over pretty early, I think. So we'll have pretty
Yep.
much some time in the evening and stuff or whatever. Hang out. Love to do that,
Are you going to go to Hall of Fame or anything? Or?
I don't think so. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Ray said he was going to give me some tickets or some if I wanted to, but I don't want to pressure him. He's got family and Dom and all that,
Right on.
So we might.
Well, you can induct Triple H. We'll get you to that.
Yeah. What's it? His second go around, right?
Yeah, it's his second time in there.
That's cool.
Was it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because he was in for DX. He got in for DX.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's
Yeah.
inducting him?
They didn't have made an announcement yet.
Okay.
And they also haven't announced when it is, right? But it has to be.
No, because it might be in a different venue. Is the report?
Oh, really?
Because they've been doing it after SmackDown, right? So, but now it might be its own singular event coming up. So, which would be great.
Check it out. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. I mean, the setup's got to be crazy, man.
Oh,
2
for
nights in
Vegas?
a row. Oh my God, it's gonna be out. It's gonna be unbelievable.
Yeah. It's gonna be a really busy week too.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be busy, man. A lot of things going on, I'm sure. Vegas is gonna be busy.
Yeah, but we'll have fun. Looking forward
Yeah.
to seeing you. Don't forget, Bobby Fulton's a scumbag.
Yes.
Gotcha.
We've been doing weekly reminders.
It's never a bad time to remind people he's a horrible person.
I got you. That caught me off guard there. That's a good one, Rob.
Cool. Awesome, man. Thanks, guys.
You got it, man.
Yeah.
One love, guys. One love, man. All right, Dom.
All the best, Mike.
Have a good night, and I'll see you in Vegas in a little bit, brother.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Van Dam fam.
See you guys next time. All right. See you, Mike. Thanks, brother.
You got it, Dom. Thanks, bro.